some holly from her ships.
right.
Hang mistletoe by the airlock door. The colony's
song
swinging,
never
the
gets
kids
old.
are all grinning
Greatest song
like
ever.
never before.
No chestnuts rosing, but hydroponics growing veggies for a holiday feast.
Yeah, what's up,
I'm
everybody?
dreaming of a red Christmas with peace on Mars, goodwill increased. Oh.
It's Christmas on Mars. You ever feel like it's Christmas on Mars? That's what I want to know. There are times in my life, and now might be one of them, I don't know, where it feels like you're celebrating Christmas on Mars. Hello, my name is Bill Marion. This is a Nose for Life live stream. In case you were lost, I can give you directions to get to the next best live stream. However, if you're looking for the best live stream on YouTube, well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And I hope you like my original music. Original, and by original, I mean original AI-generated music. That's what I mean by that. But again, if you're looking for the next best podcast, I can help you get there. But if you're looking for the best podcast, you've come to the right place. Again, my name is Bill Marion, and this is a Nose for Life live stream edition where we talk about roasting elves over an open fire. Because, listen, don't knock at people until you've had elf. You know, I want to make a thumbnail because we've been goofing off about eating elf. It's just one of those things. If you stick around in the chat long enough, you'll know what I'm talking about here. Big Frog, what's up? And Me Now is present. Good to see Me Now. Good to see Me Now in the chat room. But listen, we were goofing off about eating elf. And here's the thing. I went on this deep dive between last night after the live stream and early this morning on trying to find a thumbnail, you know, and, you know, I've gotten better at thumbnails over the years, but I still don't have the artful way of, well, whatever. Okay. So I go to trusty AI on Grok, you know, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, I need an elf being roasted over an open fire. I think it's an easy request for AI. I mean, it's supposed to be taking over the world. And it refuses to make an elf over a roasting fire. I don't see why this is so hard. And finally, after hours of negotiating with this thing, I'm like, look, what's the deal here? You're not following my simple instructions. By this point, I could have ordered an elf, put it on an open fire, and roasted it here. It cost a little bit of money, but I could have done that. And it's like, my filters won't let me show anything violent. I'm like, do you not get that it's a joke? It's from our live stream. Keep up. What's going on? Anyway, it said, and I'm sure it's funny. This is the funniest part. It was so apologetic about it. I know it sounds funny. It's that, something like that. I know it sounds like a riot. Hey, what's up? What's up? Once was our Stratfield. I always feel like I'm going to mess up that last word there. Hello, welcome from down under. Good to see you. Billy Strong's Adventure says, so now we can either watch the beginning of the live or watch the ads. That's not cool. I didn't do it. That's just one of those. I mean, there might be a way of preventing that, but I don't know. It's Ryan Stratfield. Okay, that makes more. Okay, now I get it. I'm a little slow. You have to forgive me. But no, I'm not exactly sure how. I know that with the ad placements, maybe I can do ad placements on. I haven't checked. I apologize, Strong's Adventure. I will look into that. Always good to see Big Frog. Always good to see the gang. The gang is all here. Well, not all of us, but as many that can be here tonight. The grandkids just left. A good time was had by all. Running around, doing their thing. We had a good time. It was good times. Good family times. You know, we're waiting for Christmas Day to bring out the big food. The big surprise. But anyway, so yeah, I had a hard time with the AI getting it to show an elf being roasted over open fire. It's just a joke. Like, I'm thinking you do a cartoon thing, like a cartoonish kind of thing, like a cartoonish kind of elf, you know? I would have watched the ads for you to get the 3 cents. Well, 3 or 4. Listen, it's gone up a little. When YouTube first emerged, my first account was R. Stratfield. YouTube killed it after I put up a Barry Manilow song on my channel. So hey, Barry's awesome, man. So I made a new channel called Once Was R. Stratfield. That's great. You fit right in here, man. You fit right in here. D25 says, I watched the ads. Man needs to get paid. Hey, listen, we used to have that thing where you could tip, like in the it's like a tip jar, and like every now and then, like every year or so, somebody throw like $2 or $5 on there or something. I don't know. It was cute. It was very cute. I never got one before. And I remember the first year, it was like 2020 or something. I was like, oh my gosh, somebody actually, Strong's, it may have been you. I don't remember, but somebody was like, hey, throw this guy a $5 in here, man. It was funny. That was a great story, though. Once was R. So I don't know if I should call you, I think I'll just call you Once. Just Once. Or Barry Manilow. I think that's even better. Just calling you Barry Manilow. It would be great. Everybody needs a Barry Manilow nickname. That would be cool. That would be awesome. Hey guys, welcome. You like the blue screen tonight? A little cozier tonight. Nice village setting in the mountains with thick, deep snow. It would be awesome if that were the Christmas scene, wouldn't it? I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about it. As long as you don't have to drive in it too much. I love driving in snow, but you want to make sure everybody gets home safe after the festivities and all that good stuff. Walter Langston is now in the house, our West Virginia wanderer. Hi, everyone. Good to see you. Good to see you, Walter. Always good to see you tonight. We have got a lot to talk about tonight. There's so many things going on in the world right now. And let's talk about positive things, though. I think it was me until Rana disabled that feature on my phone, so we'll blame her. I don't know if it's a Thomas Kincaid or not. It's more like a... honestly, I don't know. I ripped it off one of the pages, on Google search, like Christmas scene, click. Sometimes I make them. I don't mean paint them. No. But sometimes, you can cut, paste, copy, cut, paste. And sometimes nobody notices the difference, but I didn't have time. Actually, okay, let me take that back. I had time. I just didn't do it. I didn't feel like monkeying with it. But I get to where between canned music and it's easier sometimes to just make this stuff than it is to try to find the right thing because I already know what I want. But in this case, I was like, hey, we're going to talk about eating elves. It's all good. Big Frog Barbecue Cooking says another maple farm in West Virginia ran by elves. That's your background. Oh, that's pretty specific. That's pretty specific. I don't know, man. Maybe. It's funny, in West Virginia, that scene is actually very possible. Almost that scene. The mountains aren't quite, the prominence on those mountains are not quite as good as what's in here. Matter of fact, those mountains might be smaller than the ones in northern West Virginia around Monongahela, but the prominence on those mountains, though, it just, they don't look as high sometimes. So yeah, maple syrup. That's what we need to do next year. So let me have your opinion about something. Just open the forum up here for a casual business meeting. And, you can vote publicly or in private ballot. It's really up to you. I enjoy live streaming, not necessarily every night. But how important, how valuable do you see a live stream on our channel? And it's okay. It's not going to hurt my feelings whatsoever at all. But it does make the difference between me going one way and going another. It's not replacing what I already do because Carol and I enjoy doing what we do already on YouTube. But for a few years, we've wanted to do a regular live stream, like scheduled every single week, Hickory Dickory Dock. And when I say we, I mean me, with Carolyn giving me her approval, hey, yeah, do that. So what do you think? Let me know. Those houses are for elves because they are 1/8 scale. So those aren't really mountains is what you're saying. Those are really hills. They're really in Ohio. It's really flat. Actually, the eastern part of Ohio, there's a little bit of mountain there, a little bit. Can't be too begrudging about the lack of mountains in most of Ohio, though. I know that I-75, when you get up to Wapakoneta, Ohio, Shane can tell you that he's somewhere in here. It gets as flat as a pancake. But far eastern Ohio, there where it nudges up against, I don't know, I can't remember the name of the town right now in West Virginia, but it's pretty mountainous. Yeah. There's like this alien that landed in, allegedly. And then, of course, it's near, not really landed, okay? But they have a monument to, in this town there in West Virginia, it's near Ohio, that they have a monument of this alien sitting on a throne chair, like it's crazy. It's out in the public, out in the middle of the town, and it's like a monument to this alien and this story of these 25 people that saw this alien land and all that. And so yeah, that was kind of weird. Yeah, we are a traveling channel, traveling information Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff, but mainly travel. Yeah, we have a great time. So we don't normally. This isn't like a normal thing. We for a few years, a few of us in here would get together every Christmas and live stream, and we had success as the years went by. Like the third year we were doing it, you'd have 30 in here, and that was great. That was great for us. But then we stopped doing it for a few years, and we just now started back. So like doing the Vlogmas thing, I should say. So we're talking about maybe bringing a weekly live. I mean, it's just talk right now. It's just talk, and it would have to be good. And but what, in other words, the production value would have to be better than what we've got going on right now. But it's not just that, the production value, but you have to know that it's going to work because you don't want to waste time. It's too competitive on this platform now to just wing it like we used to. This is a conspiracy channel, Big Frog said. Well, sometimes it can be. I mean, listen, it's not exactly a conspiracy channel. We have covered some stuff before, but I mean, we cover a little bit of everything. I know that we did the Mysteries and Legends of the Blue Ridge Parkway, and that was sort of our conspiracy video of the year. Sort of, I think we did the spookiest road in the Smoky Mountains, where I got absolutely screamed at in the comments for it, but it did real well. Strong says, I love to watch the live streams. It's a way to connect with YouTube creator, but I do know with a small channel ourselves, it never helped us. No, it honest to goodness, it's not necessarily, I know this sounds crazy, especially 9 years into this. I don't think it would help us. I think it would maybe long-term, maybe, but probably not, probably not overall. I don't know. It depends. I only come across this channel because live stream come up randomly. They do come up randomly. Big Frog says the Valentine live stream will be spent on how to eat Cupid. Now that the image is in my head, it's like, yeah. I mean, but here's the other thing you got to think about too, is that we talked about eating Ewoks last night, and I'm telling you, I got feedback from that today. People today were saying, can we go into that a little bit? Like, elves, not a lot of meat on them, and it depends on how they're portrayed in movies and stuff, because some of the elves, that the way they portray that in movies, I don't know, that'd be kind of disgusting. But in this case, I think Ewoks, if you could clean them real good, maybe. I'm just saying, live stream might take up time and energy. Yeah, see, that's the thing with live streaming. That one of the ways that you kind of make some money live streaming is cutting things up and putting them online. You cut them up into 8 minute, 4 minute, I think it's 8, 4, and 12 minute intervals, and load it that way. And it can interfere with what you're doing already creatively. So that's one of the negative things. Thought about starting another channel too, but man, it is so difficult to start over another channel from scratch. It's not easy. Hey, Cupid comes with his own arrow to use as a spit. Oh my gosh, that's right. They're packaged that way. They are packaged that way. Big Frog Barbecue says, that's right, Billy. Barry Manilow, once was R. Strathfield, says, if live streaming eats up too much time and energy, that could be applied to content. Maybe it isn't worth it. I'm enjoying it. Well, that's the thing. You have to ask yourself, what are you willing to spend more time on? And I'm just not sure that I love this, but I wouldn't want to lose that too. And I'm kind of concerned that that's what would happen. Maybe I should reach out to some YouTube experts. I use TubeBuddy. Anybody else? Does anybody else here do any kind of? I know, of course, Billy does. He does stuff with YouTube. He has a channel. Does anybody else here have an actual working channel where you upload content regularly? I know that TubeBuddy is a great product. I use this much of what it can do. Like, it's tiny, but it does a lot more. And you can actually have people evaluate the channel, like YouTubers or whatever, and they'll tell you, like, you need to do this, you need to do this. I've never used it. In all these years, I've never done that. And I'm thinking, why haven't I ever done that? There's all kinds of things that you can do to improve, to improve your skill. But most of the time, I've never made it. I'm so glad you did. Everybody, welcome my beautiful and wonderful wife, who it's insane that I hear these two little children. The youngest doesn't actually say this yet because it's a baby, but it's crazy for me to hear my 2 grandchildren call Carolyn grandma. That's one of our colloquial for grandma. And because I'm like, no, she's 23 years old and we're dating, in my head. So it's always good to have her here. I'm just so grateful for you, and you're such a good grandmother, and I'm just grateful. So anyway, I'd love to get to live streaming and having fun doing that. We might experiment with it. I know that it would have to be such a commitment to do it. One thing's for sure, and anybody that's done any kind of YouTubing will tell you this: you have to be consistent with whatever you do. Our videos are great as long as we're putting out a video every Tuesday night. Boom, boom, boom. But if we take a break at all of your stats go down. So people will start watching videos from 5 or 6 years ago. I'll slip back and look at our stats from like 5 or 6 years ago. And all of a sudden, this video that was a throwaway, like it was just something to get out to the algorithm, has like 5,000 or 6,000 views. And you're like, who's watching that? And what it is just your channel grows a little bit, or you have another video do well, and they'll go back and watch some of your old shtick, which is great. You're very great. So yeah, it's good to see everybody. And I'm glad you're here. Now we can begin. I'm going to read a story. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to read a story. What I am going to do is, I appreciate the feedback on the live stream stuff. It's something that I want to do. Don't know if I'm going to do. It's one of those things. We'll see. I do need to reach out and get some help from TubeBuddy and maybe a couple of other of my sources to go, hey, what do you think about this? And see what they can tell me, how they can help me, and all that kind of junk to make sure that I don't do something to where I don't continue to bring content that I really do enjoy making, because I don't want to have a setback, okay? I don't want to have a setback. So let's talk about this. You have the city scene at Christmas, the city scene. Busy sidewalks, busy sidewalks, city side. You know the song, okay? You have that scene at Christmas, the city Christmas, okay? But then you've got the thing, you remember Tender Tennessee Christmas, the country music Christmas and all that. So tell me something real quick. In your perfect world, is it a mountain cozy scene like this at Christmas? Is it a city Christmas? Because I've been in New York. Carolyn's been in New York. We went to during Thanksgiving one year. We got to sing with the choir at Carnegie Hall. It was a great time. And we got to see the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. I think I talked about this a month ago, whenever we started this live stream. And we talked about it, and we had a great time. And we got to see the city. It snowed in Central Park, and it was still fall, though, too. It was kind of crazy that a late fall that year. And so it was just a wonderful time. And I appreciated the idea of having Christmas in the city. All the windows are decorated, and people are hurrying here and there, getting all their stuff, for Christmas. But a country cozy Christmas is nice, too, like the one in the scene behind me there. You have to have the 4-wheel drive to get to your family's house. I've never had the winter cozy mountain scenery like you're seeing there for Christmas. I have had blizzardy Christmases. I had one in Michigan years ago. I had several in Michigan, but one stands out in my mind where I think it snowed like 17 or 18 inches on Christmas Eve. I mean, it was like the classic deal. So it was like, but my family lived outside Detroit by 12 miles, which is really like saying you live in Detroit. But it was real Americana. You know what I'm saying? It was like auto workers, all that kind of stuff, and snow in Michigan, Detroit. It was nice. But I've never had the Tender Tennessee Christmas with snow, like snow in the mountains or anything. So tell me, what do you guys like? Christmas in Dixie. It's snowing in the pines. Snowing in the pines. Okay, all right. Christmas in Dixie, snowing in the pines. Now Silver Bells will be stuck in my head. Silver Bells. My perfect Christmas is one that's slightly overcast. We have a summer Christmas here in Australia. A good question was brought up. It was funny. It was Mark Sezowitz from Boston. He said, so because, it's summer there, but it's winter here. He said, so is Christmas 6 months delayed? I thought that was hilarious. He left it in the comments. He wasn't in the chat, but he left it in the comments, and I rolled. I thought it was hysterical. The city Christmas, Carolyn says, is fun for the lights and all the things, but I'll take a snowy mountain. I knew you would. A snowy mountaintop in a cabin any day. Man, me too. I am all about that scene behind us there. And if you guys watch our videos, and I know you do, you know that we gravitate towards mountains. That's where we love to go. And even when I was in Kenya last summer, my favorite part of being in Kenya was being in the mountains. I just absolutely loved it. And it's crazy. You're right there on the equator, but you would never know it. It was actually hotter here in Chattanooga, Tennessee than it was, right there near the equator. Strong's says Barry Manilow, yeah, my buddy dressed up as Santa and went surfing down there one year. Is it the same guy, Billy, that you had in here earlier? I think it's Big Gaz or whatever. I wish he would come back. He was so awesome. Great guy. Man, I'm going to have to do some, Carolyn, we need to go to Australia because the people that have visited us in the chat here have just been awesome. Not snowing. I was just quoting the song by Alabama Christmas and Dixie. Okay. All right. Barry Manilow says, I'm surprised people actually do that. I thought that only happened in the movies. That would be so cool, though. One of the things about Australia that scares me, not scares me, it's just intimidating. It's like there are a lot of critters down there. I mean, can you imagine swimming in those waters? I've seen videos on YouTube, and I know it's YouTube. I get it, that everything is hyperbolic. It's exaggerated for entertainment purposes, but these guys will be on paddle boards or canoes and they're fishing, catching good fish, and they're surrounded by like great whites. And it's just like, that's very scary. Australia, I'd like to go, but the heat though. Yeah, the heat would now actually where Barry Manilow, where he actually lives, it's not as bad, if I'm not mistaken, as it is like on the mainland. Is that true? Am I getting that right? Yeah, well, he just said that. Depends on which part of Australia you go to. If you're expecting heat in Australia, Tasmania will disappoint you. It's overcast and it's going to rain today. I'll tell you something. I think I would rather go to Tasmania, though, than the mainland. I don't know. I'm still a little bit, I still have a little bit of that, I don't know, starry-eyed wonder about the outback and exploring and things like that. But New Zealand, Tasmania is probably more up Carolyn's alley, more about my alley as far as visiting. But I would love to do that. I think it would just be wonderful. Everything in Australia will kill you. And this is coming from someone that will swim in a swamp. That's okay. You can have the swimming in the swamp. What's funny is I stay in the water when Carol and I are in Cocoa Beach. I mean, I'm there constantly. And I have to just block out the fact that I'm surrounded by sharks at any given moment. All you got to do is fly a drone over any part of that beach, any time of year, and you'll see hundreds of sharks. And it doesn't bother me as much. But except this past year in Destin, when we were in Destin this past year, it's in the Gulf. There was some kind of a jellyfish thing going on, and they even had the flag raised up like, hey, watch these stingrays and man o' wars and all that stuff. And you wouldn't even see them for a minute. I mean, you'd see hundreds of them, and you could feel things stinging you. And it was the larva, I guess it was the larva, the stingers. I don't know. They were just going down the ocean current there. And it felt like electricity all the time, just hit me like 500 times, just ow, ow, ow. And got Carolyn pretty good. Carolyn went swimming. We rented a pontoon boat and went through the inlet there. I can't remember what the name of that. It's a big lake that's right there in Destin, and just drove around. Crab Island is there. You guys need to watch that video if you haven't watched that video. Prettiest water. It is just beautiful. And it's a place where all these boats get together and they congregate. They do it every day. And so people rent boats, they bring boats, and they just drive there and they just park. And the reason why is the water there is like, I don't know, 3-4 foot. And 3-4 feet deep, and everybody just kind of swims around, their boat, and you've got restaurants, just driving out there. Like seriously, it's like a restaurant on a boat, driving in between these boats. Hey, what do you want? What do you want? You can rent stuff, all that stuff. Shane's in the house. Hey, matey, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. The pontoon boat rental in Destin was amazing. We're going to do that all day next time. Dude, we might do that several days next time. It shocked me. I thought it was going to be one party the whole time. I thought it was going to be sort of, I thought it was going to be like a big brouhaha, kind of loud and, listen, to each his own or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? And it can get that way from what I understand, but it's not that way every day. That's more of a weekend thing. It was real family kind of atmosphere when we were out there. Real family atmosphere. People kind of looking out for each other and making sure everybody's taken care of, being real careful. The vibe was great. I thought the vibe was great. It's just really expensive in Destin. And that's one of the reasons why I like Cocoa Beach. It's not really known as a big vacation beach. People go to Cocoa Beach to get on a cruise, essentially, is what happens. but we fell in love with it years ago. Big Gaz is in the house. I was just talking about you, about how great it was. It's been having you on the live stream, except for the one night that I missed or whatever, but how much you have just been hysterical on this. Our other Australian here, Barry Manilow, who I'm not a fan of. Well, I don't know that anybody in this chat room is a fan of Barry Manilow, but it was just funny, your story or whatever. Came to Australia, and a journalist asked him what his favorite Barry Manilow joke was. He wasn't amused by the question and walked away from the journal. It figures. That sounds like Barry Manilow. I know that he was huge. My aunt Donna loved some Barry Manilow back when I was a kid. Just loved Barry Manilow. I remember that she had the posters in her, on the wall and all this stuff. She was like a teenager or something. What did I do to deserve being inquired about? You? Well, you didn't. You deserved it because you've been wonderful, and it's good to have you back on the show. Welcome. I said show, podcast, whatever you want to call this that we're doing right here. Wasting time, even that's fine. So once our Stratfield said he seemed to take himself very seriously. I know that he is the one. Maybe you guys can Google this. If I'm not mistaken, if you're my age group, 40s to 50s or whatever I am, somewhere in there, you remember the cologne commercial that had this by Menon. Remember that? If I'm not mistaken, Barry Manilow was like one of the writers of that or something. You'll have to look that up. It's him or another songwriter, performer that you would never think was him, a star, but I think it was him. I listened to Copacabana the other night. So maybe I'm more of a fan than I realize. Man, I'll find myself jamming to something sometimes and I'll go, am I a fan of that person? I know the words to that song. He was a jingle writer. Jingle Bell. Yeah, he was a jingle writer, I think, before he made it big. And so, he is cashing that check in every time that commercial comes on, I'm sure. You are welcome at Bill Marion. You are welcome at Bill Marion. That text to him only cost me $5. Hey, I'll take that as a tip. You always talking about earlier. I'll take that. Ding. There you go. Big Gaz. Looks like we made it somewhere down the road Monday. We did. Just send us an invoice, Billy. I like that, Carolyn. Just send us an invoice. That's okay. We won't pay it, but still send it to us. We'll frame it. And put it up in the kids' room or something. I don't know. So yeah, you've got the different Christmas scenes all over the world, because I don't expect obviously the meaning of Christmas is the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. That is the meaning of Christmas. That's the day that we set aside to celebrate his birth. Okay. So, but when it comes to how to celebrate, that's going to differ depending on where you're from and culture and all that kind of stuff. I've found Christmas in Germany, the way it's very European, the way Europeans celebrate, I can identify with that. It makes sense. It's kind of the way I grew up, but the rest of the world, it means something a little different. And so in Australia, it would have to be even that much more different because why? It's summer. I mean, that changes everything, because the snowy scenery just doesn't cut it if it's 95 degrees or 96 degrees and you're swimming with sharks or you're surfing. Big Gas says Billy can afford it. He makes $100 a week in empty beer cans. Well, at least he's making a living. At least he's making a living. He's working. Keep staying fit and all that stuff or whatever. Yeah, Carolyn and I may spend a Christmas before we get too old to do this. I have aluminum's up. Aluminum's up. Aluminum's doing good. Carolyn and I might spend Christmas sometime in a tropical environment like the Maldives or Hawaii, something like that. That we've thought about that, like just breaking the tradition for 1 year, but just us. I think I would go crazy missing the kids though, because I'm the sentimental one. Carolyn's hardcore. She can handle it, man. She's like, yeah, the kids will be fine. Let's go. But me, I'm the one going, I miss the grandbabies and the kids. I'm that guy. I'm telling you. But no, we've talked about that, like just breaking the trend a little bit. we've thought about going to, I couldn't get the kids to come along with this because Anna just had her baby, her third baby. And the other two just aren't, they're still in that 20 something thing or whatever. But I thought, let's go rent a cabin in West Virginia or somewhere like that. And let's just get away for a week, Let's just do that. But nobody really bit into that. They're like, why? I'm like, because there's snow. It's like, you will go skiing. Well, they're like, Dad, we don't ski. You raised us in Southeast Tennessee where it's like 72 degrees on Christmas Day. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Carolyn said, that's right, babe. Adventure is calling. I am dying for an adventure. We kept meaning to go back up to watch this Billy at Strong's Adventure. You'll love this. We thought about going up to the PF, right? Am I right? We thought about going up to the PF or the Berg, and we could the live stream. I was like, no, we don't need to leave during the live stream. We're trying to do this thing every night until Christmas Eve. And I thought, well, we could get a room and I could live stream at night, but you can't trust the stream. And that's so annoying when you're trying to watch a content creator somewhere. And maybe they're like this channel, very small. They get 10, 15 people at most in the chat room. But when it keeps cutting out, it's so annoying. Ours used to do that in Virginia. It was just so annoying. Once was our Strathfield says the food on Christmas in Australia consists of salad, lobster, turkey, pavlova. The doors are open to allow the breeze in the house, and family are not dressed warmly. I'm there. You had me at lobster. You did. You had me at lobster, and I'm fine with that. That's fine. I'll go there. It's hot here today in the future. It is the future. See, it's tomorrow there. It's hot here today in the future. The chickens are laying boiled eggs. But that'd be a lot easier at Christmas. Like if you're going to make deviled eggs, and if you're in Tasmania, that's got to make it even easier. No, nobody got that. Okay, whatever. Tasmanian devil, get it? Warner Brothers. Okay, whatever. Babe, we can get lobster in Maine, and the weather is cold. Yes, please. Carolyn loved Maine. Carolyn loved New England. I loved New England too. Listen, I had a great time. I would recommend New England. That's New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine. I just count those 3 states. I know a bunch of people claim to be a part of New England. If you go online, I think Connecticut claims it. Is it Maryland? Somebody else claims to be a part of New England. I'm like, stop it. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a pretender. You're not real. Massachusetts is great. Massachusetts is definitely kind of New England. It depends on where you're at, really. But yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I'm going to get blown up later when somebody watches this on the repeat and they're like from Boston and they're like, what do you mean we're not New England? We're the first New England state. Okay, whatever. But I had a great time up there. It was wonderful. But again, if you're wanting maple syrup, I would go to West Virginia. I'm just saying. New England was amazing. Carolyn says the Northern Lights was the best surprise of all. It was awesome. When we were driving, we had a moonroof or whatever they're called in the car now, like the big moonroof. And so we're just driving, enjoying it. It was unseasonably warm up there when we were there. Of course it was, because we're from the South. Why would we want chillier weather? Anyway, so we're driving. And I kept thinking, why is the sky green? I did. And I kept going, because sometimes I used to fight fires in the Guard, and sometimes if there's enough acreage burning, it'll almost look like it's being reflected in the clouds, like on a cloudy night. And I thought, I wonder if there's a forest fire up here. I didn't know. And I'm like, I wonder if it could be the Northern Lights. And I didn't really say too much about it, but it got Carolyn's attention. And I don't know, 7 or 8 more miles, the sky just lit up. It looked like something you would see on a YouTube video of somebody that has spent $50,000 to set up a camera in the freezing cold in the Arctic Circle or something. And we got to see it for free. It was so serendipitous. We had a great time. Deviled eggs, the bad smells. Our bad smells, really bad. But it's so good. It is so good. My daughter, Anna, my oldest daughter, she makes the best deviled eggs in the world. Once was our Strathfield says, it's hard for me to compare because all my Christmases have been in Australia. So a Christmas for you, like the perfect Christmas scene, is Australia, because that's what Christmas is all about, right? It's all about culture, family, and all that kind of stuff. Again, it's about the birth of Christ, but I'm saying as far as our senses and how we respond, to what looks like Christmas or feels like Christmas or whatever. But he says, I had to be on the road to see separate families. So it's always been a busy time driving. Well, sure. I think that's probably what we all have in common is, the rat race, rushing around to see family. You've only got a few days off maybe, or whatever your schedule is. Strong's Adventure says to Carolyn, they have beaches in Maine also. So that is no for me. Wait a minute. I don't understand, because you will swim in the swamp, but you don't like beaches. You're going to have to elaborate there. I need to know more. Come on, press in there. Press in strong. I need to know more about that. Carolyn says, laughs at Billy, but says, but those beaches are so very different from the ones in the South. They are. I like Southern beaches more. I'm just going to say it. I like Southern beaches more than Northern beaches. Okay, let me clarify that. Northern beaches are awesome. It's not that. Okay, let me say it this way. I don't like Virginia Beach. That's not really a Northern beach. What Carolyn is talking about is probably there at Acadia National Park, where it looked like something out of a postcard. Even the water looked pure. Like this ocean water looked like you could drink it. It was just nuts. It was kind of crazy. I can't say it's perfect. Talking about Australia, once was our Strathfield. I don't like the heat. Perfect Christmas in Tasmania where it's not so hot. Yep, that's what I was thinking. Is Tasmania maybe some high? So you got high elevation in Tasmania. You got some mountains there, I guess. He also says Christmas Day for me in Sydney was like battling peak hour of traffic to see 3 different families. Yeah, that's a lot. It's getting that way everywhere here in the U.S. too. You can have those southern beaches. I can't stand the humidity in the South. I have to drag every time you guys see a video of us, a video I'm making about Cocoa Beach, Myrtle Beach, anywhere, any southern beach. Just know that Carolyn's miserable. Just know that she is miserable. She does not. Those trips are really for me. Okay, she does not like southern beaches. She just doesn't like the beach. She grew up in Florida. And so she's not a big beach person or whatever. That sounds awful. Talking about Big Gaz says, will confirm. Talking about his fellow Tasmanian. If you visited every beach in Australia once a day, it would take you 32 years. It's a long time. That's some beach hopping, man. I've heard, to be honest, I don't have much time in my life to test it out. I hear you. You'd have to be a serious surfer to want to hit every single beach. But again, I've seen too many YouTube videos to get too arrogant on the beach in Australia. I'm afraid that I would be terrified. Bro, Billy says, they have sand at beaches. Sand gets places it never should be. I agree with that. That's why my son hates the beach too. He hates the sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. Once was our Strathfield said, I don't really want to be a whiner, but it wasn't great. Sydney, an industrial city, and the heat wave combined with driving just made Christmas suck. Well, if you're talking about a heat wave at Christmas, that's going to make it a little more difficult anyway. But I'm in Tasmania now, so I'm good. So what's the temperature in, you don't have to convert it. We'll try to do it in our head. We probably can't. Most of us probably can't do that. But what's the temperature there in Tasmania right now? And compare that to Queensland. Tasmania is a whole different world down there. Yeah, that's what once was our Strathfield was telling us. That's where he hails from. And he was explaining to us that it's a whole different world. So like in Queensland, what was the high today or is the high today? And what is it in Tasmania? So that we can do a little cross comparison here and kind of figure it out. Because I'm really curious. Here in Chattanooga today, somebody can look this up. I don't remember what it was. Where's my phone? I don't remember what it was. Today's high. It was somewhere in the 50s, I'm sure. It's always in the 50s here. Like, again, I said this the other night. You could always predict the weather in Chattanooga in the winter by saying highs in the 50s or upper 40s, lows in the 30s or at worst upper 20s. And occasionally you'll have a cold front, 59. Yeah, there you go. Carolyn just said it. And occasionally you'll have a cold front or it'll heat up. And if it heats up, it can heat up. It can heat up here as high as 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It could. It happens sometimes. It's not all the time. And the other night it dipped down to 16 degrees Fahrenheit. So it does happen. Occasionally it happens. So Big Frog, you're an Aussie too. Now, yeah. So yeah, you got Big Gaz is an Aussie, and once was our Strathfield is an Aussie. I'm telling you, I need to do an Australian podcast just for Australians because that is disproportionate probably for most podcasts. Somebody help me out here. Help me out. As Big Gaz said, Tasmania is a different world. Yeah, I want to know more about this Tasmania. That that would be pretty good. New Zealand too. Like, let's count them. It was 79 here, 78 here. Randall says in Florida. Shane said, but fall of 78. What happened in the fall of 78? But fall of 78. But in the fall, good stuff. I'm originally from Sydney. Hobart's much better. It's making me, you know what? It's making me hungry. All of these things make me hungry. And I should have faux commercials for my live stream. I think I'll try to work on that for next winter if we do this again, or even if we just live stream in the future, like we were talking about at the beginning of this, where maybe take a day a week and do and live stream. I don't know. We're still talking about that. Still a discussion, and make faux commercials, just fake commercials, and like, you know, that's when you do your how to order elf, shipping elf in and things like that. That would be great. Good stuff. I'm originally from Sydney. Oh yeah, I already read that one. So yeah, it was such a shame that poor Grok, the AI that I was using to try to get AI to make a picture of a family standing around an open fire with a spit, roasting, you know, a little bitty elf or whatever. That it was going to be hilarious. And AI wouldn't do it. It said, no, that's considered violent. I'm like, it's an elf. They're not real. What's wrong with you? Like, come on. Once was our Strathfield said, don't come to Tasmania during the winter. I actually fell into depression for a week, and I'm not prone to falling into depression. It can be very gloomy during the winters. Yeah, I mean, did I mention we went to New England? I'm kidding. I think it rained every day while we were there, like off and on. This is the story about cooking. This AI story about cooking an elf is really interesting. Oh my gosh. Once was our Strathfield 6 surnames. Gotcha. Good to know. So that's anybody mess with AI yet? Anybody messing around, like trying to do stuff, write stuff, or it writing it for you? It's so fun. It's ridiculous. And it's not as great as you would think it would be. You know, I talked about this the other night. I've been writing my entire life, and so there's a difference between writing and just putting crap, you know, on paper that goes together, right? And the stage that in AI that we're in right now is that I've probably ran through about 100 different or more scenarios of different types of songs or whatever. Or if I'm trying to get it to help me to write a script, I'm in a hurry and I needed to write a blurb on a particular peak or whatever. And out of every trial, I might be able to keep 20% of it or 10. Like even if you listen to the Merry Christmas on Mars that I put out this morning at 5, which is cute. It's a cute thing. And the video I made with it is fun. Go watch it. I've got Elon Musk dancing in that. If you haven't seen it yet, you've got to see it. It's hysterical. At least I think it's funny. I'm weird like that. But out of every, 100 requests, there's maybe 8 or 9%, maybe 10% is you can keep, but most of it's garbage. That's the stage we're in now, but it's going to change. And the reason why, it's already changed across the past 4 years. Used to, I wouldn't use it at all. It was wrong about a lot of the facts in the Appalachians and abroad. So you couldn't even trust the information. The information piece is better. And at least now with Grok is 10 to 1 better than ChatGPT, and it's not even the best one. But Grok is 10 to 1 better than ChatGPT. And I would say that now it'll at least give you the sources. What bothers me a little bit, and I said a little bit of this the other night, is that it's not able to identify propaganda as much. And Carol and I run into that a lot with national parks and national forests and things like that. We'll run into their official narrative is not, there's a reason why they say certain things that it's not necessarily historically accurate. And it's just propaganda, and propaganda isn't always bad, but we run into that a lot. And Grok will err on the side of propaganda a lot. And I can see a time coming where we'll be able to filter that. Hey, just getting crap down on paper is how I got a GED. So there's that. there's that, man. There's that. I mean, that's what more do you need? If I would have had ChatGPT or Grok in college, high school, junior high, I don't know what to tell you. I would have been a cheating fool. To be fair, there are nice people. I saw a local kid fishing with a rod by the creek. I couldn't believe a kid's not playing with a phone. We're still out there. They are. I mean, it happens. I don't think everybody is consumed with a phone. A lot of the places Carol and I visit for our videos, there's no cell service. So our screen time, especially when we're on the road doing our thing, is greatly reduced. But when we're hard at it, doing the church thing, the work thing, you stay on your phone. You feel like you're on your phone 24 hours a day, right? Big Gas says, I think Tasmania, I don't think Tasmania had phones yet. There's that. They don't. But he's just saying, it's good to see that those kids, no, they probably, I know that there are places in West Virginia. I had some people in West Virginia, they got so offended. And again, one of my favorite states ever. Carolyn and I want to buy property there. We want to move there. We want to live there, all that stuff. But I had said something about, hey, look, if you come to this part of West Virginia, again, you'll hear me mention it 100 times, Monongahela National Forest. It's because it's a big area. It's the highlands of West Virginia. You're not going to have cell service. And you could drive 2.5, 3 hours and not have a single bar on your phone, especially if it's like there's a storm. And maybe you cross a mountain, and on top of that mountain, that's like 4,400 feet above sea level or whatever, you get one bar. I've actually live streamed one time, and some of you might remember this, from the top of Spruce Knob, West Virginia's highest mountain. I live streamed from up there. Couldn't believe it because it was like this fluke thing where we had all of our signal. It was just a fluke thing. And I'm like, I'm going to see if this works. And it did. It was just kind of crazy, but they lit me up in the comments. People from West Virginia, that's not true. And they lived in Charleston. They lived in cities. And I'm like, that's not West Virginia. There's like maybe three decent cities in the entire state of West Virginia. And most of them are small towns. They're old mining communities, so they're wonderful and I love them, but that's what they are. That's what I love about them. Strong says, yeah, Big Gas 1953, but they have a steam engine that works. That's all you need. A steam engine to turn magnets and electricity and stuff. Somebody explain that. I don't have time. Kidding. They were very nice people. I got to defend them. That's what once was our Strathfield says. I'm going to have to help with that because I don't want to call you Barry Manilow and offend you or whatever, because that was so much easier than trying to once our Strathfield. I don't want to mess that up either. So it's kind of difficult. But yeah, it's a great, I love the scenery behind us though. Like that is my idea of just bliss right there. Of course, Carol and I wouldn't stay still. We probably would for a couple of days and then just enjoy it. But as soon as it started snowing again, the mountain peak behind it, Carol and I would be on top of it, finding a trail, like a dirt, a snow-covered road up there. That's what we would do. I'm in the neighborhood. Some of you guys know this, but we totaled our truck last summer. I mean, not summer 25, the summer 24. And so we are looking for a new truck. We loved that truck. That was like our favorite truck. And the reason why is because it just did anything we needed. It had the big tires on it, big engine. It was a Chevy Silverado 1500. That video of us climbing Spruce Knob is real. We climbed it. They don't do snow removal. They don't do any kind of chemical treatment. They don't do salt treatment. They're like, the gate is open. You may drive. And there's some serious ledges on that mountain too. And so you're taking a risk. And it climbed like a beast. I mean, it climbed like there was no snow on the mountain. And when I would step out to pass the coffee, as I said the other night with Strong's got a kick out of that. And I was like waist deep in snow almost. It was just insane. But so we're in the neighborhood. I want a Humvee. I don't mean like a modern Humvee. I want a military grade Humvee. That's what I'm wanting. I said all that to say this. I want a Humvee. You do get a lot of woke people here in Hobart, which is irritating. Well, I mean, yeah, woke people. I don't know what to do with woke people. I'm trying to help. A part of our channel is trying to help. I don't know what to say. You stick around this chat room long, you're either going to leave if you're woke or get really, really offended. It's a train thing, Bill. You wouldn't understand since you won't even go to the museum that's 3 miles from the house. I need to. I know. I haven't had time yet. Maybe we did. Carolyn, make a note. We could do that over the Christmas sabbatical there, and crack out a video, because Billy is the reason why we have an Opryland video part 2. I'm telling you, and the reason why I've got Dutch oven cooking videos on here, because he's like putting the pressure on. Big Gas 1953 says, if I was being a Drango about Tazzy, I didn't mean to. A Drango. What is a Drango? Somebody help me. What's a Drango? Because I'm thinking Durango, the truck. I don't know what's going on there. Durango. I need a lexicon. I need a translator. I heard 3 kids demanding adults to respect their pronouns. Not on this channel, you don't. Not on this channel, you don't. Nah. All good, mate. Okay, Drango must be a negative thing or something, like, don't be a Drango. Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum. I get it, big God. I get it. I will go. Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum. And I will call Walter. I don't have his phone number, but I'll send him a YouTube message that nobody ever thinks to check. I'll send him one of those, be like, hey, I'm here at the train museum. Guys, check out Strong Adventures channel. But while I've got you here, check out Strong Adventures channel. Check out Walter's channel. Who else has got a YouTube channel in here? Because I'm looking, I'm like, I just drew a tremendous blank. And I can't remember. It's Walter Strong. I know I always plug Toby the Adventurer, but he's on a cruise, so no, I'm just kidding. He's got a great channel. If you like nature, if you like this area, especially if you like Middle Tennessee, the mountains over there on the Cumberland Plateau, which is like Allegheny South, if you will. If you want to check that, no, Shane, haven't been to the TV, are you? Oh, I'm going to have to. Or I'll hear this for years. Carolyn, the hyper woke culture amongst the young is insufferable. They were very pushy with their politics, which was quite stressful. Here too, I mean, you got your two extremes, you see. And it's not that I'm all about middle of the road politics. Yeah, whatever. It's not a political channel. I have to say that to myself all the time because I will go political. I can't help it. I lean in. So I'm not going to go that. I'm not going to do it. But I will say that both extremes are kind of insufferable. Like the people that, I won't even say the name, he might happen to be president right now. I'm just saying the people who are like diehard that way, that's kind of annoying too, because, nobody's perfect. And then the other, here are my pronouns, like, really? I'm not doing it, Carolyn. I'm not doing it. She hates it when I go political. She hates it. So, yeah. You can send to YouTube messages. Yeah, you can send. You go to the About page, and there should be a way to go to their email from there. Now, again, I don't know of many creators that occasionally an up-and-coming creator. I used to check them like under 5,000 subscribers. You check them. Then after that, you just go, nah, it's probably not a good idea. It's just for reasons. That's all I'll say, just for reasons. But occasionally I do. Mr. Bill, have you ever heard of the... Yes, we had prom at the Chattanooga Choo Choo when I was in high school. So we had two proms there. And in fact, follow me, boys. Is that the... Anyway, yeah, I've heard of the Choo Choo. Definitely been there a few times. Oh boy, there was a couple of kids who I thought were a little psycho on the psycho side. One female that insisted on being referred to as he just had this crazed look. Well, I would say that a male or that a female, what did you say? It was a female that insisted on being referred to as he. I would say that a female demanding that you refer to her as a he, probably a little deranged, but that's, hey, what do I know? I'm old now. Mr. Bill. Oh, I already read that one. There you go. Strong's Adventure says, is laughing hysterically at Big Frog's comment. Big Gas says, a Drago is an annoying, insulting yobo. Now let's find out what a yobo is. Yes, please continue. What is a yobo? And I need to make songs with this stuff, man. Yobo. It's just, yeah, that needs to happen. Big Gas. Most of them do. Yeah. It's a pretty contentious issue. I just roll with it and say, yeah, you're he. Don't kill me. I would say you're a Drango and a yobo. Get your Drango and your yobo and get out of here. Drango. Am I saying it right? I keep wanting to say Django, like the movie Django, the Elvis song. I hope us antipodians are not alienating people in the room, just being mindful of everybody in here. I am being mindful. I am. So if you have pink hair, blue hair, purple hair, we love you too. You're welcome to stay. Just don't talk. I'm kidding. Yobo mate. Drongo mate. That's what I said. Yabo. Is it Yabo? Yobo? I am desperate here to know now. Drongo? Drongo. I don't know, man. I'm challenged here. Drongo. Either way, I'm going to start calling people that, and they're not going to know what I'm talking about here in the U.S. And it's going to be awesome. I'm going to look at, man, don't be a Drongo. They're going, huh? I want to get to the part-time job driving. I want to get a part-time job driving the Lake Winnie train when I retire. Big Frog. Lake Winnipesaukee is this should be it's a theme park, but really it's a major lawsuit waiting to happen here in Chattanooga, and it's where I discovered that people do get sick a lot on amusement park rides, especially ones that are held together by duct tape, friendship, and love. And so, yeah, that would be awesome. I think you have to have a criminal record to drive the train, if I'm not mistaken, Big Frog. If I'm not mistaken, you have to have a criminal record and on your way back. I think that's how that works. Yubby Southern speak, Bill. Think of Bob with a Y. Yab. Yabba. It almost sounds like Caribbean. Yabba man. No. Big Frog, I'm sorry to vent, but this young female that insists, okay, we already got there. Oh, wait. Sorry to vent, but this young female that insisted on being referred to as male would show up wearing a dress. The male identity commitment was questionable. I can arrange that. Had some great times at Lake Winnie. Oh yeah, we've had some great times at Lake Winnie. I'm going to stop right there. When I talk about attractions in Chattanooga, Lake Winnie never comes up. Lake Winnie never comes up. I am scared that I will be named in the lawsuit that happens if I recommend it to a visiting family. You guys should try Lake Winnipesaukee. And then something happens and I get named in the lawsuit. Barry Manilow says, I remember her ripping into this 56-year-old man because he said Elliot Page is an ugly bloke. Elliot Page is an ugly bloke. I don't mean that ugly towards Elliot Page and her thing. Whatever. It's fine. I'm just saying when she did the thing that whatever you call it, it wasn't attractive. She screamed, he's handsome. I love hearing Shane's stories. We need to hear the Lake Winnie story. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So that's, I don't know what to say about, every time I hear about the people, I think some of that is just getting attention. I really do. And the whole modern thing where, he's and she's and she, he's and all that stuff. I think some of that's just young people getting attention and they really just need a hug and a job, a hug, a job, and, a little bit of stake in the game. And I don't mean the meat. I mean, be a part of society a little bit. Lake Winnie was always enjoyable with beverages. Okay. I'm doing Lake Winnipesaukee wrong, but I'm assuming some of those stories may not be YouTube appropriate. This is why I avoid arguing with local woke people in Hobart. It's a headache. Well, that's okay. You can bring it all here. And anytime we have a live stream, it never fails. I know that Juan, y'all remember Juan. And again, I hope Juan's okay. I haven't heard from him in a year or so. But Juan would always bring, basically an essay from his political party into the chat. We would just all start busting out laughing because I was really trying to dodge politics at the time on the channel. I wasn't as goofy really as I am now. And so I would just die laughing because he wasn't having it. He was like, I'm not playing your game. I'm going to say what I want to say. As my late friend said, next, listen, by the way, I want to say this again. If you do have pink hair, purple hair, blue hair, I just want to say, I admire you that you have hair. I've been follically challenged for years. So who knows what color I would dye my hair if I had hair. Big Gas says, I support people's opinions. They have a right to be wrong and stupid. They have a right to be wrong and stupid. Never take somebody's right to be stupid away because that's sad. That's sad. Somebody's really wanting to be stupid. They want to voice their stupid opinion. We fought wars to let people voice their stupid opinion. I say, let them give peace a chance. Let stupid people be stupid. So please leave a comment. Please leave a comment. Go ahead. Chat it up. Chat it up. That's right. They have the right to be wrong. Yeah, they do. They certainly do. Come on, don't let the chat die now. Come on. You can't let the chat die now. You can't because, I'm sitting here putting my life on the line talking about, coloring people's hair blue and green and purple and all that kind of stuff. I identify as right. Remember when all that stuff started coming out, the thing that people would say all the time was, They would say, I identify as a helicopter. You know, all that. Do you remember that? That was funny. Stupid is as stupid does, Forrest Gump says. That's right. Stupid is. People quote Forrest, and I do too. Like he's a philosopher. Like, I'm serious. One of my favorite things when somebody says something about, well, I made this much money, and that's a lot of money or whatever, I'll say, well, that's one less thing. And it dawned on me the other day. I went, that's Forrest Gump. That's what everybody quotes Forrest Gump like he. And maybe I think they've written books about the philosophy of Forrest Gump. They turned Winnie the Pooh into a philosopher. So if they can turn Winnie the Pooh into a philosopher, they can turn Forrest Gump into a philosopher. Hilarious, hilarious, hilarious Forrest Gump. How many times have we seen Forrest Gump? Probably 150 times myself personally. It's good stuff. I don't know if it plays now. Like, I'm not sure. Like, that was a certain time. You know, I don't know if you could remake Forrest Gump. I don't think it would be that great now. But so I don't know. Now, seriously, real quick, I know that there's only 7, 8, 9, 10 people, depending on the moment. Be sure to do 2 things. Hit the like button for me if you don't care. I'd appreciate it. The other thing is make sure you're subscribed. Don't unsubscribe. A lot of people will hit the subscribe button thinking they're subscribed, but they're actually unsubscribing. So don't do that. But make sure you're subscribed. But the other thing is this. Our Facebook page that I use for this channel is Bill Marion Life. Bill Marion, then L-I-F-E. L-I-F-E. So go to there, join that page or whatever, but send us a message, give us recommendations, comments, suggestions. It's not going to hurt my feelings. You could say something like, Bill, wear a wig. And I'd be like, I would, but they're sweaty and hot and itchy. You know, you could say something like, I don't know, I don't like your backgrounds. You know, I don't like how you do this. Your microphone stinks. Your music stinks. Whatever. It's fine. But drop us a line, give us suggestions and feedbacks. Carolyn hates, she said she'd leave me if I ever had hair. She's like, if I ever got plugs or anything, she said she'd leave me. She goes, I love your bald head. Mr. Bill, when and where are we getting coffee tomorrow? We could probably do something tomorrow afternoon, like around 12-ish. And now Carolyn's monitoring here. So she has my schedule better than I do. So she can jump in here if I'm wrong. But just give me a when and a where. Blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to think. We have plans. Okay. But I thought that was tomorrow night. This is tomorrow afternoon. Like around, wait a minute, because we got to get the thing. Okay. Just give me a second. We're going to work this out. Life is like a box of chocolate. Someone licks all the chocolate off and you're left with dried out innards. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Yeah, I tell you what, we could probably, you're not far from Hickson. Billy, no. Oh, wait a minute. She says, will you please buy him a mullet wig? I do need a wig for the channel. I'm just saying, like for live streams, if nothing else, that would be hysterical. That would be hysterical. You could come to Big Frog. You can come. There's a Starbucks in Hickson. That's, I'm assuming you're talking to Billy on that, but there's a Starbucks in Hickson. If you're just going to say you'll be there at 12, show up at 12, and I can be there at 12. So that's not a problem. That shouldn't interfere too much with our plans. We have some Christmas decoration stuff going on at Mom's tomorrow night. What if they're chocolate what does it say? Sultanas or something? You can do coffee in the afternoon, but you got to be home by 4-ish. Okay, 4-ish. I will be at 4-ish Gumpish. I will be home at 4-ish. But yeah, Big Frog, you still there? Just confirm 12 at Starbucks, and I'll see you there. Just confirm for me. Billy Joe Dirt. That's your sister, dude. Man, that's crazy. It's like a box of chocolates. Ewok chocolate. Man, you know, Shane, we meant to get onto the Ewoks tonight, and we just never got there. Sorry, I allowed Google to correct my spelling. We meant to go. We started down the Ewok journey of how it would be better to eat Ewoks than elk or than elf, but it just never got there. And in part, because we just took a wrong turn, or maybe the right turn. I don't know. But we're not gonna abandon the Ewok discussion about. I wouldn't go as far as to eat a Wookiee, but I would eat an Ewok. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Like raisins. Big Frog, where you at? I'm waiting for your confirmation, my friend. But anyway, going back to what was I saying? Yeah, going back to Bill Marion Life. Jump on Bill Marion Life, the Facebook page. Give us recommendations on the messages. So give us recommendations, things that we can do to improve, things that we can do to make the channel better. Strong says, yeah, at Bill Marion, to be home before the street lights come home. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I am whipped. She'll just go, hey, you got to be here then. Have to find the Starbucks in Hickson. It's really from over in where you're at. It should just be across the river, and it's right there, about the same time in the middle. Shane, I'll see you tomorrow, and I'm going to stick around here just a little bit longer here because I'm trying to work this out with Big Frog while I entertain and while y'all entertain me. I feel like I get so much more out of this than you guys do because it's like 6 or 7 of you guys making me laugh, or 10 of you making me laugh, and you're funnier than I am. That simple. Drink from a hose. I used to growing up. We did. That's how we rolled back in the day, man. You didn't come in for like a sippy. You don't have a juice box in the 70s or the 80s for that matter. You had a garden hose. All right, line up everybody, and I'll try my best to make it. I will see you at 12. I'll be there at 12. I'll look around and go, hey, because you know what I look like. I don't know what you look like. Not really. But you can go, hey, you, just, don't scare me and abduct me and stuff. That happened one time a long time ago. I'm kidding. It didn't. But still, I will, we can take care of that. Well, I need escapism. I saw the beach I frequented my whole life. Where did you go? Like a life be a scene of a terror. Ooh, so I'm keen for anything to distract me. I hear you. There's another one here on 153. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. The one on 153. Just make sure you're at the one near Northgate Mall. Right. That's the right one. It's the one at Northgate Mall. You shouldn't be able to mix it. As soon as you come into Hickson, it's on the left. Like as soon as you get there. Sorry, Bill, been watching when I can while here at work. Todd, I totally understand. I'm just glad you're here. Thank you. Always good. Todd holding the Volvo plant down there where they make the big trucks. Big Gas says, eat dirt to build our immune system. That's exactly right. In fact, that's why I'm still growing. I'm still growing because of all the dirt that I ate when I was younger. Never hurt me any. It's near Logan's. It's right next to Logan's, practically next to Logan's. It's very easy. Bondi Beach. Actually, anyway, yeah, it's near Logan's. Bondi Beach. I'm sorry. It's the glasses. People have been talking about it the whole time. All right, guys. On that note, I'm going to get off here and enjoy the rest of my evening and prepare for tomorrow night as well. I will be here same time, same channel, tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, where we will discuss all of the above and continue this thing going all the way to Christmas Eve. 9 o'clock. I'll be here. You be here. Bring friends, bring family, bring your children, and we will talk. We'll have a great time. And a good day to you, Big Gaz. A good day to you, Barry Manilow, or once was R. Stratfield. We will see you guys later. Peace.